And for more on this, our correspondent Siddhant Sibbal, who has been covering the conflict from the front line, spoke to the press director for Israel Prime Minister's office. Listen in.
Just in front of the police station, which is now devastated, where the terrorists attacked and the Israeli police heroically defended it. With me is someone from the Prime Minister's office. If you can talk about the situation on the ground, how safe the situation is here in southern Israel?
At the moment, we are in the middle of the war. What's happened 10 days ago, we shouldn't cover it as just another battle. This is a war. They kidnapped more than 120 Israelis, including children and women, and we will not stop till we destroy Hamas and Jihad, no doubt about it. We need to do some different game in this region, because our civilians won't be able to suffer anymore as long as they will understand that the Israeli government decided strategically and tactically at the same time. It's not just another military circle. We will do our best in order that the Israeli civilians will not suffer again, not injured and not being killed. The Hamas must be destroyed from this region.
Sir, if you can talk about the situation in the aftermath of the attack, how many Israeli civilians have died, unfortunately, and how many of the Israeli citizens are now kept hostage by Hamas?
Unfortunately, we have more than 1,300 Israelis dead from this brutalic Hamas massacre attack on last Saturday, and we have more than 3,000 casualties, and we have at least 120 hostages in the tunnels of the Hamas, including women, including children. This is a horrible situation, and the Israeli government decided to destroy the Hamas, period.
Sir, my other question to you is, we have seen groundswell support from India. We have seen the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi also terming this incident as a terror attack. How do you see the Indian moral support at this time when your country is facing this kind of attack?
We are saying thank you for the Indian administration, including the Prime Minister Modi, which is a really good friend of our Prime Minister Netanyahu. We are really say thank you for the entire world, for the Western world, not just the Western world. Most of the countries around the world support Israel, support the suffering of the Israeli citizen, and we will say thank you for the Indian regime, Indian population, including Americans and some other dozens of countries that support Israel in this critical situation. Thank you, India. Thank you for your support, the State of Israel.
So my another question is as to the situation here on the ground. While we were traveling towards southern Israel, where we are right now, we saw a lot of movement of troops. We saw a lot of tanks, and we're just 3 kilometers away from the border as well. What is expected next? Will there be a ground offensive by the Israeli side, something that has been talked about?
There is some plans that the cabinet Israeli government thinking what is the right way to deal now. No question that we are not going to stop at this moment. We are going to make sure that the Hamas, we won't be able the capability to destroy the Israeli citizens.
And essentially, what are you looking at? What are the options at the table, sir?
There is quite lots of options at the moment. We don't know exactly the timeline, but we know one thing: the Hamas and Jihad must be destroyed.
So my final question before you leave, there have been several rocket attacks here in this part of Israel as well, in Tel Aviv as well. How are you dealing with these rocket attacks?
Our mission is to make sure that the Israeli civilians won't be killed anymore. Therefore, if there is a rocket, we have shelters, and you also, the foreign media, need to go to the shelters when we have rockets. But make sure that we won't be able to stop this war until the Hamas and Jihad will destroy from this area.
So are you hopeful that there will be no repetition of what happened in the past here in this part of Israel?
We are determined that it won't happen again. This what happened last Saturday won't happen again. We are determined to destroy Jihad and Hamas from these zones, period.
And do you think that there will be another front by Hezbollah in the north?
Well, we hope not. We don't want another zone and another military operation. We are doing our best to make sure that Hamas and Jihad won't be able to destroy Israelis anymore.
So my final question, there are reports that Indian origin Israelis also died. If you can give some details about that.
I don't have enough details about that. Sorry about that.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank
you so much, sir, for speaking to WION. So